my name is Tom Alves. I'm gonna help you guys how to do a pre-trip inspection. I recently did my pre-trip inspection, my test last week, and I passed. I had like 100% score on everything. And I just wanna help you guys how to do it. So I wanna share some tips with you. One of the things that you guys need to do, make sure that you guys don't do it too fast. You don't have to hurry. Make sure you look at everything, make sure that you memorize the names on the parts. And when you mention about a part, that can be any part, it can be a radiator, alternator, or AC compressor, make sure that you say that the parts are not cracked, damaged, or broken. And if you're talking about hoses or wire, you want to mention that it doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and it's not leaking. It can be any air leak or any fluids leak. So I'm going to start doing the pre-trip. I'm going to look at the front of the vehicle. Once you look at the front of the vehicle, you want to make sure that the vehicle is not leaning to one side or to the other side, which could indicate a problem on the suspension. You want to look at your front tires, make sure that you don't have any flat tires. Make sure that it's good, in good condition. And I'm going to approach the vehicle. I'm going to come close, and I'm going to look underneath the engine compartment, and you're going to look for puddles. And it can be any, you're going to look for oil puddles or water. We could indicate a leak, water from your radiator or oil from the engine compartment. So there is no leaks, so it's in good condition. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look at the top. I'm going to mention about my mark lights. My mark lights are not cracked or damaged. It's on the proper color, so it's in good condition. I'm going to look at this mirror. So it's not cracked or damaged, it's properly secure. I will look at the mirror itself. It's clean, it's not cracked. So I'm going to look at my front bumper. This is my front bumper. It's properly tight, properly secure. It's not damaged, it's not broken. This is my grill. My grill is properly tight, it's properly secure. It's in good condition. This is my headlights right here. My headlights are not cracked or damaged. And you also want to make sure that the lenses are clean, so it's in good condition. You can also mention about your fog lights. Here's your fog lights. It's not hanging off, it's not cracked or damaged, and the lenses are clean. You can also mention about your tag. Tag is properly secured, and the date, make sure that it's not expired. So once you look the front of the vehicle, you can also mention about your windshield. Make sure that it's not cracked or damaged. Make sure that you don't have any stickers that can take your view away when you're driving. Make sure you mention about your blades. My windshield wiper blades are in good condition. It's properly tight. It's not cracked or damaged. After that, you can open the hood and you can check the hood itself. Make sure that it's not cracked or damaged. And you want to open this kind of slow. Make sure that you don't damage your hood, and you can check the hood itself. Make sure that it doesn't have any cracks. It's in good condition. It's working properly. After that, after checking the front of the vehicle, I like to do a general overview when I'm looking at the engine, the inside engine, the compartment engine. So I want to make sure that I don't see anything cracked, anything hanging off, any hoses that might be cut or wire that might be hanging off, any parts. So everything appears to be in good condition. So I'm gonna look over here. I don't see any leaks. I don't see anything leaking. Everything appears to be in good condition. So the first thing that I want to check is my water pump. This is my water pump right here. My water pump, it's not cracked or damaged. It's not leaking any fluid. And you have to mention that it's a belt driven, and your belt doesn't move more than 3/4 of an inch of play on it, and the belt itself is properly tight, and it doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. This is my alternator. The alternator is properly bolted to the motor. The wire connected to my alternator doesn't have any cuts. It's in good condition, and it's also belt driven. Okay, you don't have to mention again that it's that it doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and your belt doesn't move more than 3/4 of an inch of plates. The same belts for your alternator, for your water pump, and your AC compressor. Here's my AC compressor. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's properly bolted to the motor. It's in good condition. Now we can move to the radiator. Here's my radiator. My radiator, it's not cracked or damaged or broke. All the hoses connected to my radiator. I have a hose over here. I also have hoses under the radiator. It's not leaking any fluid. It's properly bolted to the frame. It's properly secure. And you can also talk about this fan. All my blades are present. It's not missing. It's not cracked. And you can also mention about this belt. My fan has a belt. It's properly tight. The belt doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. Everything appears to be in good condition and is properly secure. Here's my oil full cap. It's properly secure. The chain is properly secure. And you will check your oil level by pulling up your dipstick, wiping, reserting, pulling it up again, and make sure that your oil is above the mark line. This is my air filter. It's not cracked or damaged or broke, and you will check the filter, open the cap, and make sure that it's clean. All the other parts, my leaf springs hanger, my tires, my wheel, my frame, I will check on the other side because they are exactly the same on the other side, and it's easier to check on the other side because I don't have this top cap right here that it's kind of taking my view away from my tires and my wheel. So let's move to the other side. Okay, now let's do the pre-trip inspection on the driver's side. So let's approach the vehicle. First, you want to make sure, want to do like a general overview, make sure you don't see anything hanging off, anything cracked or damaged, any leaks. Everything appears to be in good condition. So I'm going to start with my overflow coolant reservoir. This is my overflow coolant reservoir. It's not cracked or damaged or broken. It's properly secure. The cap is properly secure. All the hoses connected to my overflow. It doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. It's not leaking any fluids, so it's in good condition. This is my windshield washer fluid reservoir. Properly tight, properly secure. It's not cracked or damaged. The cap is properly secure. I also have a hose right here that it's not leaking any fluids, so everything appears to be in good condition. Right now, let's check my air compressor. This is my air compressor right here. This is my air compressor pump. So it's not cracked or damaged or loose. It's in good condition. All the hoses connected to my air compressor pump. It's not leaking any air, so it doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. It's in good condition. Right here, I have my power steering pump properly bolted to the motor. This one, it's a gear driven. All the hoses connected to my power steering pump. Doesn't have any leaks, doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. It's in good condition. This is my power steering fluid reservoir. It's not leaking any fluid. It's not cracked or damaged. My fluid, it's on the right level. I have hoses connected to my power fluid reservoir. I have this hose and I have this one right here. It doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and it's not leaking any fluids. It's in good condition. This is right here. This is my power steering gearbox. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's properly bolted to the frame. It's in good condition, and it's also not leaking any fluids. This is my power steering shaft. It has no more than 10 degrees of play. It's in good condition. My U-joints, it's properly greased and it's properly lubricated, and it's not cracked or damaged or broke. Now I'm gonna talk about my 3 pieces steering linkage. I have my pitman arm, I have my drag link, and I also have the tie rod right here on the back. Tie rod, it's free from any illegal welds, and my 3-piece steering linkage, it's not cracked or damaged or broken, it's properly secure with castle nuts and cotter pins. And I also have castle nuts and cotter pins on the back right here. Okay, so we can talk about the frame. This is my frame rail. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's free from any illegal welds, and it's properly secure to the truck. Right here I have my leaf spring hangers. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's properly connected to the front axle with U-bolts. The U-bolts are not cracked or damaged or broke. It's not loose, it's properly tight, properly secure, it's in good condition. Here's my shock, my upper mount, my lower mount. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's properly bolted to the frame, and it's not leaking any fluids. You can also see and mention about all these wiring and hoses. It doesn't have any abrasions, bumps or cuts. The hoses, it's not leaking any fluids. Everything appears to be in good condition. And now we can move to the the tires. Before we do that, let's mention about this air line right here. It doesn't have any abrasions, bumps or cuts. It's not leaking any air. It's properly connected to my brake chamber. This is my front brake chamber. Here's my slack adjusted and my push rod. You have to mention that your push rod doesn't move more than 1 inch of slack. And I will check that with my, I will chock the wheels and I will release my brakes to make sure that it's not gonna move more than 1 inch of slack. And it's not leaking any air. Everything appears to be in good condition. This is my ABC wire. It's properly connected to my wheel sensor. It doesn't have any cuts. It's in perfect condition. Now we can move to the inside of the tires. Right here I have my brake pads. My brake pads, it's not cracked or damaged or loose, and it doesn't have more than 1/4 of an inch of pad. I mean, it should have at least 1/4 of an inch of pad. So in this one, this one in this case right here, it's perfectly fine. It has plenty. So we can talk about the drum. The drum is not cracked or damaged or broke. It's properly secure. My wheel, my inside wheel, it's free from any illegal welds, which means that you cannot try to fix it. You have to replace it. Some people trying to fix it. It's not legal. It's illegal. So that's why you have to make sure that it's free from any illegal welds. And now we can move to the inside wall tires. My inside wall tires doesn't have any abrasions, bumps or cuts. It's free from any defects, and it's properly seated to the rim. Perfectly fine. This is the outside wall tires. Doesn't have any abrasions, bumps or cuts. Properly seated to the rim. It's free from any defects. Now we can talk about the top of the tires. Properly level. I will look for nails or screws, make sure that nothing is stuck. Properly level. You have to make sure that your front tire should have at least 4/32 of an inch of tread depth, and it's your front tires, you have to make sure they must match in size, and it should be match virgin radial, which means that you cannot recap the front tires. Okay, so let's move to the wheel, to the outside wheel. Good condition. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's free from any illegal welds. To talk about your lug nuts and the hub seal, you have to make sure that you're gonna have to remove this cap, and I will check to make sure that I don't see any looseness. Make sure that it's properly tight, properly secure. There is no shiny metal shaves, which could indicate the looseness. So it's in perfect condition. The hub seal, I will check removing this cap, and I will make sure that I don't have any leaks. I will check my Valston to make sure that it's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's not leaking any air. and I will check the pressure on the tire with my gauge, and I will make sure that I have at least 100 psi on air pressure on my front tires. So after you done that, you want to look everything again. Make sure that you don't forget anything. You don't have to hurry. So look everything, make sure that you mention everything, the names on the parts. And after that, you can move to the driver's side. Okay, now we're gonna do the driver's side. First thing that you wanna see here, you wanna check everything, make sure nothing's cracked or damaged, nothing hanging off. Everything appears to be in good condition. This is my mirror brackets. It's not cracked or damaged, properly secure. My mirror itself, it's not cracked or damaged, it's properly clean. I will check my door. I will make sure that the door itself opens and closes properly. It's not damaged. I will check inside the door. My hinges are not cracked or damaged. It's in good condition. My weather stripping doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. Appears to be in good condition. I will check my diesel tank to make sure that my straps are properly tight, properly secure. I will check the cap. I will remove the cap and I will look inside the cap. I will check the seal to make sure that it doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. And the chain itself is properly secure. My cap is properly secure and it's in good condition. I will also check under the vehicle to make sure that I don't find any diesel leaks. So that means that my tank is in good condition. Okay, so we can check these mark lights on the side, make sure nothing's cracked or damaged, make sure that it's on the proper color. You're gonna check your steps, make sure that it's properly secure, properly tight, in good condition. And we can move to the back of the tractor. Right here, you want to check the back wall, make sure that it's in good condition, nothing's cracked or damaged. You want to check this handle right here, make sure that it's properly tight, properly secure, perfect condition. You want to check your rear light right here, make sure that it's not cracked or damaged, proper color, lenses are clean, good condition. You want to check the catwalk, make sure that it's in good condition, properly tied, no missing parts. You want to check your airlines, your emergency airline, your service airline, your electrical line. You want to make sure the hoses doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. Make sure that it's not leaking any air. You want to check your glad hands, make sure your glad hands are in good condition. It's properly connected to the trailer. In this case right here, I have a flatbed. And you check the glad hands itself. You can remove, you can mention that you, on your daily basics, you're gonna remove your glad hands and you're gonna check the seal inside to make sure that it doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, and cuts. Make sure that it's not leaking any air. Right here, you can check the shock from your tractor. Make sure that upper mount, lower mount, it's not cracked or damaged or broke, and it's not leaking any fluids. You can check the airbag suspension for your tractor. Make sure that it's not, doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and it's not leaking any air. Okay. You can also mention about your battery box. You can open and you're gonna check the batteries to make sure that it's clean and nothing is damaged. Right here, you want to mention about the drive shaft right there. I have my drive shaft right there. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. My universal joints are properly connected to my differential. It's properly greased, it's in good condition. You can talk about the frame. The frame itself, it's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's free from any illegal welds. All the bolts connected to my frame is properly tight. There's no shiny metal shavings, which could indicate looseness, so appears to be in good condition. Right now, I can mention about you actually gonna have to walk to the other side to mention about your exhaust muffler. And you're gonna touch it, make sure that it's properly tight, properly secure, it's not cracked or damaged, and you're gonna look for black soot, which could indicate a leak on your exhaust muffler. If you don't see any black soot, that means that it's in good condition. It's not leaking any fluids. Perfectly fine. Right here, you can talk about your fender. It's not cracked or damaged or loose. It's in good condition. Okay. So you want to mention about your, this is my frame brackets. Make sure that it's not cracked or damaged or loose. Make sure that it's properly bolted to the frame. All the bolts are properly tight, properly secure. There's no shiny metal shades. We could indicate looseness. You check over here. Make sure that your eye bolt is not cracked or damaged. It's properly secure. I'm gonna check inside. Right here, I have my control arm. This is my control arm. It's properly connected to the differential, and it's properly secure with my U-bolts right there. It's properly tight. It's not cracked or damaged or loose. It's in good condition. And we're gonna move over here, and we want to check your shock, upper mount, lower mount. Make sure that it's not cracked or damaged or loose. Properly bolted to the frame, and it's not leaking any fluids. Right here, I have my brake chambers, my spring brake chambers. You're gonna check the lines connected to the chambers, make sure that it's not leaking any air. And you wanna check your push rod and your slack adjuster, make sure that they don't move more than 1 inch of slack with your brakes released. And make sure that you forget about chocking the wheels, so you can check that. It's not leaking any air, it's in perfect condition. So right here, I'm gonna start checking my first set of duals. And I'm gonna check the rear tires the same way that I check the tires. Outside, inside, I would check the front tires on the same way. There's a couple of things different here that you can mention about your set of duals. You want to make sure that you don't have any objects between your tires that might be stuck from the road. So it's clear, it's in good condition. And you have to mention that the rear tires can be recapped, and you gotta have at least 2/32 of an inch of a thread depth on the rear tires. And you're gonna check the other things in the same way that you check the front tires. My brake pad should have at least 1/4 of an inch of a brake pad. The drum, it's not cracked or damaged or broke. My wheel, it's free from any illegal wells. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's in good condition. I will check inside wall tires, outside wall tires. Make sure that it's not cracked. Make sure that it doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. Make sure that it's free from any defects. Make sure that it's properly seated to the rim. Okay? Top of the tires, make sure that you don't have any nails or screws stuck. Make sure that it's properly level. It's in good condition. I'm gonna check the wheel on the outside tires. Make sure that it's free from any illegal wells. Make sure that you don't see any crack. It's not damaged. It's in good condition. All my lug nuts are not missing. They are all present. There is no shiny metal shavings. Okay, so it's properly tight and it's in good condition. I will check my hub seal. This is my wheel seal. Make sure that you don't see any leaks. So it's in good condition. I will check my Volston. Make sure that it's not cracked or damaged. Make sure that it's not leaking any air. It's in good condition. And I will check the pressure on my tires with my gauge. And I will make sure that I have at least 100 psi of air pressure. Right here, I want to check about this right here. This is my airbag suspension. I don't have leaf spring hangers on the back, but I do have, you have to mention that you have, this is a airbag suspension. I will check the upper plate, the lower plate. I'll make sure that it's not cracked or damaged or loose. And I will check the side wall on my airbag to make sure that I don't see any abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and it's not leaking any air. Right now, this is right here. This is my mud flats. Doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. Properly secured, free from the ground. And we can move to the coupling. We can talk about the fifth wheel right now. Okay, in this case right here, I have a sliding fifth wheel. I will have to mention that my air piston, it's not cracked or damaged or loose. It's not leaking any air, and the hose connected to my air piston, it's not leaking any air. It's in good condition. It doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. Okay, I will check the handle. This is my handle right here. it's not cracked or damaged or broken. My handle, my release handle, right now it's on the lock position. It's perfectly in good condition, so everything appears to be in good condition. And my fifth wheel, it's properly seated to the platform. My platform, it's not cracked or damaged or broken. It's in good condition. It's properly secured with cotter pins right there. And I will come, and I like to come under the trailer right here. And you want to mention right here. You want to mention right. You want to look over there, the fifth wheel right there. I will make sure that my fifth wheel is properly greased. And I will make sure that my jaws, my shank is around the shank. And I will look for any spaces, any date lights you don't want to see. You don't want to find any date lights between your fifth wheel and your apron. Okay, the bottom of the trailer. Make sure that you don't find any space between. So it could indicate that it's not properly coupled. So it's properly coupled. I don't see any daylights between. Properly tight, good condition. Everything appears to be in good condition. Right here, I have my torque arm. This is my torque arm right here, inside. Come here, let me show you. This is my torque arm right here. It's not cracked or damaged. It's not broke. Properly connected to my differential. I can check the frame right here. It's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's in good condition. It's free for any illegal wells. Okay. And I can also check the airbags on the back right here. The sidewall doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. Upper plate, lower plate, not cracked or damaged or broke. It's in good condition. I will check the lights right here. Make sure that it's not cracked or damaged or broke. Make sure that it's all on the proper color. And the lenses are clean. Let's move to the back now. Okay, right now I'm gonna check the landing gear. My landing gear, I'll make sure that it's not cracked, damaged, or broke. It's in good condition. Make sure that it goes up and down properly. And you can check the back of the frame, the trailer or the flatbed, and you can start moving back. Make sure that you mention about the straps. Make sure that it's in good condition. It's properly tight. The mark lights or the signal lights on the side, make sure that it's not cracked or damaged, in good condition. You can talk about the frame. Make sure that the frame is in good condition on the trailer or flatbed. And you have to mention about the sliding suspension. In this case right here, I have a sliding suspension. It's in good condition. My release handle, it's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's on the lock position. And you're gonna check the tires on the same way that you check the front tires. Okay, inside wall, outside wall, top of the tires, wheel, brake pads, drums, and wheel. Lug nuts and hub seal and valve. Make sure that everything is not cracked or damaged or broke. It's in good condition. You want to check right here. Over here on the back, I have these lift spring hangers. Make sure that it's not cracked or damaged or broke. It's properly connected to my rear axle. And you want to check the mud flaps right here. Make sure it doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. It's not damaged. Okay, I'm gonna move over here. So let's check the spring brake chambers. Make sure that you mention after past 1975, it's a spring brake chambers. You're gonna check the slack adjusted, your push rod, make sure that it's not cracked, it's not leaking any air. Your rear axle, it's not cracked or damaged, it's properly secure. Your lift spring is properly secure with U-bolts. U-bolts are not cracked or damaged or broke, it's in good condition. Okay, so let's look over here on the back of the flatbed. I have the rear lights. Make sure that it's not cracked or damaged on the proper color. You mentioned about your DOT stickers. Make sure they're all in good condition, properly present. And the passenger side, you can mention that you're gonna check the passenger side on the same way that you check the driver's side, so you don't have to do that. because most of the parts, they are just like the same on the other side. Okay, this is the pre-trip inspection. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video can help you to pass on the test. Good luck.